Welcome to sparklebritts, where we put misconduct on display, explore police and legal content, protect rights and demand accountability.
Lights on. You do need to have your lights on.
Okay, sir, do you want to step out the vehicle?
No, I'm not stepping out the vehicle. You've got no need to take me out the vehicle. I've given you my licence. I'm not being aggressive. I will comply with any other order. You do not need me to step outside the vehicle. You try to pull me over for a public order offence, which you cannot be the complainant of.
You won't be able to take your eyes off this video of a heated confrontation between a driver and London police officers. The police officer suddenly drove the wrong way, stopping the driver without signalling. When questioned by the driver about his dangerous driving skills, the police officer immediately turned around and stopped the driver under the vague pretext of public order. A reason that constantly changes and is full of contradictions. Refusing to give in, the driver repeatedly argued, demanding that the police officer obey the law like any other citizen, pointing out that it is extremely dangerous for the police to not turn on their lights when driving the wrong way. Tensions were raised as the two sides argued fiercely, from identifying the identity, the reason for stopping the car, to arguing about the authority and duties of the police. In particular, the driver did not hesitate to accuse the police of discrimination, while the police officer was confused, constantly changing the reason for the check and even blaming the local accent for causing misunderstandings. The driver's resolute attitude towards the unusual and inconsistent actions of the police. Who will be the winner in this battle of wits? Don't miss it. The story has more developments that will make you think about the civil rights and responsibilities of law enforcement officers.
You need to tell me that and identify yourself, please.
I'm PC Golding from Bishopsgate Police Station.
Right, what's your number?
452 CP.
Right, thank you. Your colleague?
My colleague? Which one?
The one that just took my licence.
208 CP.
And what's his name?
Pardon?
What's his name?
PC Jones.
Alright.
Do you think it's acceptable to use that language?
Do you think it's acceptable to drive down the wrong way of the road without your lights on?
Yes, we do.
Did you have your lights on?
Don't have to have
No, you
lights.
do have. You're not exempt from the law. You're not exempt from the law. You're not exempt from the law.
You need to have an understanding.
You're not exempt from the law. You're the police. You uphold the law, but you're not exempt from the law. You can't do whatever you want whenever you feel like it.
Policing purpose we can, sir.
But what policing purpose were you driving down the wrong way down the road? What was the police purpose? You were driving the wrong way down the road.
If you actually let me speak.
Did you have your lights on?
Don't have to have the
You
lights
do
on,
need to
sir.
have your lights on.
Okay, sir. Do you want to step out the vehicle?
No, I'm not stepping out the vehicle. You've got no need to take me out the vehicle. I've given you my licence. I'm not being aggressive. I will comply with any other order. You do not need me to step outside the vehicle. You try to pull me over for a public order offence, which you cannot be the complainant of. Simple as that. No, you cannot. You're not a member of the public. You're under police jurisdiction. You cannot be the complainant. If you've got a member of the public under the public order, then therefore you can pull me over.
And case in court that police officer can be a victim of a public order offence.
Out with your duties.
Pardon?
Out with your duties. You're working just now. So do what you need to do, yeah, and we'll go a bit away.
Do you have an issue with police, sir?
Yeah, I do.
What's your issue with police?
I don't like you.
Why?
Because I don't like you. What?
Can I ask why you don't
Because
like
you
us?
do things like that. If I'd done that, you'd have pulled me over for it as well.
But can I ask you something though?
What?
If that was your dad that we were looking for, I don't know you, so before I offend you or anything, if that was your dad or a family member who we were looking for, would you want us to have done what we just did?
No.
You wouldn't?
No, because you could have injured a pedestrian, you could have killed a cyclist, you could have hit another car. So no. You should have had your lights on. 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 Simple as that. Well, you should have done. You're driving down the wrong side of a busy road. You should have had your lights on.
No, sir.
Yeah, you should have. You should have. No, sir, about it.
If you have a form of driving, sir, then you're free to make a complaint. But you cannot use that language.
What language?
It's completely unacceptable.
What language?
You called my colleague a fucking prick.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
I think you've misunderstood what I've said because of the Scottish accent. I think you're racially stereotyping me now. You're racially stereotyping me. Yeah, 100%. Can you?
Yes, I think that you were very angry. The fact that we delayed you by by
I don't care, mate. All day. I'm not bothered.
And you've taken offence.
I'll sit here all day. I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. If it means I get charged with you, it's fine. Honestly, not my problem. So go about your business. I'll have my licence back when you finish doing your checks.
Still doing their checks.
That's cool. Yeah, not a problem. Do your thing. What's your name? Huh? What's your name and number? Identify yourself.
393 Charlie Papa.
Where are you based? City of London Police, yeah?
City of London Police,
Last time you lads pulled me over, I had you for 2 hours.
Pardon?
And do you know what happened? He's done the walk of shame. It was funny. I had you for 2 hours in the city, you pulled me over.
Okay.
Because you was bored. Nothing better to do with your time.
No, so as I said to you, the reason why we pulled you over was because of what you said.
Public order?
Yes.
Right, okay. That's what you're saying.
You're not sorry?
What's your name?
He doesn't like police, he's always told me that.
What's your name?
Sorry?
What's your name? Identify yourself.
My name?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's TBS Nolan.
TBS, no, what's your number?
You've got my details obviously on here, mate.
What's that? I can't read.
You understand obviously that I think it's been explained to you obviously the reason why we've done the stop.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, because you were driving down the wrong way of a road.
Sorry?
You were driving down the wrong way of a busy road, down the wrong direction, on the other side of the road, without your lights on.
Well, we'll beg to differ.
And a member of the public has challenged you on it, and you don't like being challenged by members of the public, so you've got to come down here and try and flex.
Okay. So you're being stopped at the moment, obviously, given the fact, obviously, the verbal abuse that you shouted at
What
the
verbal
vehicle.
abuse?
Okay, and obviously under 163 Road Traffic Act.
Well, hold on a minute. 163 Road Traffic Act. What did you pull me over for? Public order effect. Public order.
I said to you, yes. I said to you, we require you to stop under 163 of the road traffic.
Right, and I stopped, yeah.
Constable uniform, stop any vehicle
Right,
on the road.
right, that's fine. I've stopped. I've given you my licence.
The reason why we've asked you, we've instructed you to pull over under
Yeah.
the Road Traffic Act was because of the offence that you committed.
Sort the public order effect.
Correct, yes.
Offence. Right. Who made that complaint?
Sorry?
Who made the
Well,
complaint?
it's been witnessed by us, hasn't it?
Right. You can't make public order offence complaints.
Yeah,
no issues.
So, there's your
I don't take
licence.
advice. Jog on. See you later.
Under what power?
Under the COVID powers.
Under the COVID law, we have a right to walk up and down here. We are exercising. Fishermen sit stationary and they're allowed to be out. Why are you telling us we're not allowed to walk up and down here?
Because you protest.
It doesn't matter if we're filming.
Okay, so
Filming is not.
Right,
it's not a protest.
You can talk all you want, but you're not going to agree with me. So you can listen. At the minute, I'm giving you an order to go back home. Okay? If you fail to comply with that, you will be arrested. That's
Under what power?
Under breach of COVID regulations.
So it's a breach of COVID regulations to
that's
walk
your-
in
that's
fresh
your-
air. You
that's
are
your-
a fascist.
That's your decision.
You're a fascist.
That's your decision.
No, we are walking up and down
Okay,
here. You've got
so-
no right. You've got no right
So
to ask us to move from here.
Home or you'll be arrested. So
Right, I want to speak to your superior. You cannot.
I've already discussed it with my sergeant, and they've already.
So you,
spoken
just to
us
clarify, you're ordering us,
to go home.
and that's not a suggestion. That is.
No,
that's not words of advice.
no,
That's
that's
an
a lawful
order.
order to
That's
go
a
home.
lawful. Are you acting under your oath today?
Yes, of course.
You are you?
A tense street confrontation erupts when police stop a group of people simply out for a walk, and the situation quickly spirals into a battle of words and shifting accusations. At first, officers question why the group is together, pressing for details about their relationship and purpose. The walkers insist they're just exercising, but the police don't buy it, accusing them of protesting under the guise of a stroll, especially since they're filming. The group pushes back, demanding to know the legal grounds for the stop, repeatedly asking if the officers are acting under oath, and challenging every order. As the officers cite COVID regulations and threaten arrest if the group doesn't disperse, the walkers escalate, accusing police of discrimination, claiming they're being targeted for being vegan, and even hurling insults, calling the officers fascists and thugs. Throughout, the police stick to their orders but offer little explanation, while the walkers highlight the absurdity. Why are fishermen allowed to sit, but walking and filming is forbidden? The back and forth grows ever more heated, with shifting justifications and mounting frustration on both sides, leaving viewers hooked. Who's really in the right, and how far will this standoff go?
At the moment, aren't we?
Yeah, we're out exercising.
You're out exercising, are you? With your phones, cameras facing here.
Yeah, filming. Is that all right?
So basically, obviously with the current lockdown, so who are these people over here? They review.
I'm not going to answer that. We're just out walking.
All right.
That's all you need to know.
Are those people? Because you can only be out of one person, can't you?
We're out walking in a pair.
Okay. So
We don't have to
so you
answer
from
any of
the
those
same household,
questions. We don't have to answer you that. We're out walking.
or You're exercising, are you?
What do you think you are? The Gestapo? Like, you're out here like the Gestapo, telling us where we can
So
walk,
it's
asking us
because we're in a
questions
current
about.
lockdown.
I don't care. We're allowed to be out walking.
What filming in there?
I can film whatever I want. It's a public place. If I want to film my walk, I'm well within my rights to do so. So why don't you go and do your jobs rather than harassing us for going for a walk?
Have your COVID through. We're not all together. That's what I was going to have a chat with these two. Just to make sure they're aware of the current lockdown. That's all.
It's quite blatant that we're not together.
Yeah. I think we're more than 2 metres, don't you?
How did you get here?
I don't need to ask you how I got here. It's none of your business.
Obviously, I don't know. You don't look over the age of 17, so you can't have driven here.
None of your business how we got here. How did you get here? What are you doing here? Are you exercising? Are you allowed to be out of the house? Do you have a reasonable excuse?
Yeah, I'm working.
And I'm walking.
Because at the minute, you're saying that you're basically saying you're exercising, okay? I don't believe that you guys are out exercising. I believe you're out exercising.
What do you call walking?
You can listen. I believe you're outside exercising your right to protest, okay? Which
Right to protest.
Yeah, which under the COVID things isn't a reason to have an exemption.
We are walking up and down here. We're using the exercise exemption.
You're up and down filming, so I don't believe you're exercising.
We're allowed to film when we walk.
Right, so can I have details, please?
No, we're allowed to film when we walk.
Tell me the law.
We are walking up and down
I'm gonna run
here.
you guys through because at the minute
No.
we're going to be giving you direction to leave, and if you don't leave, you can take
We
you arrested
are-
for breaching COVID rules.
What, by walking up and down? We are. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Fishermen
You're
are.
not even, at a minute, you're not even providing details, so
I
I
don't
don't even
need
know who
to.
you are.
You don't need to know who we are. We are walking up and down here as
Because
we
I
are
see where
within
you-
our right
where
to
you
do
both live, where
so.
you've travelled from.
You don't need to know that. There's no travel restrictions. We're going for a walk.
We're going for. It's quite.
You're on
late.
camera.
You're saying that
So are
we're
you
filming.
refusing to provide details?
I'm
Is that-
walking up
no,
and down
I'm
here.
asking, are you-
Am
you're
I
refusing-
legally
are you
obliged?
refusing- are you
Am I
refusing-
legally obliged? Are you
are
acting?
you
Are you
refusing-
acting under oath?
Are you refusing?
Are you acting under
refusing
oath?
to provide
I will answer
details?
your
Is that a yes or
questions
no?
when you answer mine. Are you acting under oath?
I'm asking.
Are you acting under your
for
oath?
Details.
Are you acting under your
Are you
oath?
going to give me your details?
Are you acting under your oath?
Are you going to
I
give
don't
me
understand what's
details?
going on here, so I want you to answer my questions.
So I'm all just going
Are you acting under oath?
So we need
Are
to
you
get
acting under your oath?
Details, you have them.
I've never met you before, so I
How do you
don't
know
have
your
I want to understand what laws you are using.
So I've asked for them.
What powers are you using here? We are walking up and down here exercising.
Zach said okay.
We are walking up and down here
People who
exercising.
film the Eiffel Tower are protesters. And
Right.
people who film tourist distractions.
We are in our right to exercise. We are walking up and down.
Excellent. And your date of birth?
07022.
We are walking
Well,
up
considering
and
there's two more
down.
people there, another
Lovely.
person up there.
And,
That's
they're
fine.
They're not with
There's
us.
5 people.
They're not with us. They are walking as
So
well.
do you normally come here every week to protest?
I'm not answering your
I
questions.
know where you travelled from. You see.
So you would normally come here to protest. Today you're here, but you're just walking. You're not. It's just a coincidence that you would normally come here to protest, and you're exercise.
We're allowed to. All you have to know is that
Okay,
I'm allowed to exercise, and I want to do my exercise here.
Okay, can I just ask you? So normally you come here to protest
I'm
on
not
a
answering
at the
that.
cattle market.
That's
Is that-
irrelevant.
Well, it's not.
Whether I
relevant.
do or not is irrelevant. I'm out for a
No, I'm
walk.
asking. Do you normally come here to protest?
219.
I'm telling you, I'm coming here for a
Do
walk.
you normally come here to
I
protest?
don't need to answer you that. I'm here for a walk.
So you're saying the people who film in the street, who film
Do you-
at ship shops,
How
Do you
come
normally- do you
fishermen
normally
are
come here
allowed
to
to
pro-
be
do you normally come here to
sedentary?
protest?
that's none of your business.
Why isn't it? It's relevant
Because
to
you're
why,
here
it's
harassing
relevant-
us when
it's
we're just
relevant
going
to
for
why
a
you're here
walk.
today, isn't
Right
it?
now you are
Because you're
harassing.
saying you're here to exercise, okay?
We
We are
I'm
exercising, we're
saying
walking
that
up
you
and
guys only
down.
come here to protest. It's a cattle
So
market
you're
today.
making assumptions about what we're doing here.
Well, you're not providing any details of who you are.
I don't
so-
need to provide you details. I'm walking up and down.
State the law that she has to give her details. State the law.
Are you acting under your oath?
What law does
Why are
she
you
have
so
give her
reluctant to answer that, whether or not you're acting under your
You should
oath?
just been very. I've literally just asked you now.
Are you acting
which
under
isn't
your
that hard
oath?
to ask.
I'm asking you, are you acting under your oath? You don't want to answer that. Why is that? Why is that? Why don't you want to answer that question?
Because you're not answering any of my questions, so.
First name.
You're here as a professional. I'm here as a civilian walking up and down. I'm not obliged to answer what
We'll
I'm
do
doing.
disagree on that. I believe you're here because you want to protest. You're not out
Does
exercising.
this look like a protest? I've got no banners. I'm not wearing any animal rights
But
clothing.
you're saying people who film are protesters.
No, it's not
No,
what I'm
you
saying.
just said that you suspect
No,
we're
you're
protesting
putting words.
because
You're
we're
putting
fil-
words into
No,
the
I'm not.
mouth.
You said-
No, you're
you said
you're
that
putting
you want
intentions
us
to
to
our
be
actions. You're saying that we're protesting when we're clearly just walking up and
because
down.
we were filming. That is why you said you thought we were protesting. So you're saying that everyone who films in the street,
This is all recorded, so that isn't what I said. But it's fine.
but you're saying that people who are in the street.
That's
may
the
be protesters.
insinuation of what you're saying, that because we're filming, we're protesting. I just want to film my walk. I'm allowed to do that. I'm within my rights to film. I'm in a public place.
I find that strange how people who are filming maybe down the street, Gentleman's Walk, may be seen as
Yeah, that's
protesters.
receipt. Thank you very much.
Very strange.
You're being unreasonable and
Okay.
you're harassing us.
So basically, I'm asking you or ordering you to basically go home.
Under what power?
Under the COVID powers.
Under the COVID law, we have a right to walk up and down here. We are exercising. Fishermen sit stationary and they're allowed to be out. Why are you telling us we're not allowed to walk up and down here?
Because you protest.
It doesn't matter if we're filming.
Okay, so
filming is not a protest.
You can talk all you want, but you're not going to agree with me, so you can listen. At the minute, I'm giving you an order to go back home, okay? If you fail to comply with that, you will be arrested.
Under what power?
Under breach of COVID regulations.
So it's a breach of COVID regulations to walk in fresh air. You are a fascist.
That's your decision.
You're a fascist.
That's your decision.
No, we are walking up and down here. You've got no right. You've got no right to ask us to move from here.
Or you'll be arrested.
Right, I want to speak to your superior. You cannot.
I've already discussed it with my sergeant, and they've already.
So you, just to clarify, you're ordering us
to go home.
and that's not a suggestion. That's not words of advice. That's an order. That's a lawful. Are you acting under your oath today?
Yes, of course.
You are you?
I know, but walking, it's like the crime of the 21st.
Can you recite your oath to me? Can you recite your oath that you're acting under?
The order's been given.
You can't. You don't need to. You don't know it. You're here. You are here to enforce draconian rules, and you know that. We are walking up and down the roads. What power are you ordering us to move from when we walk under COVID laws? We are allowed to walk out in fresh air.
At the minute, there's a pandemic on, and unfortunately, it's affecting a lot of people's lives. Now, yes, I know you guys would normally like to protest here, and unfortunately,
we are not protesting. Just to clarify, we are not protesting. I will have you for
I'll
this.
let you talk at me then.
I will have you for this.
So
This is discrimination. You do know we're a protected minority under the Equality Act. Did you know that? This is discrimination.
COVID rules apply to everyone.
This is discrimination because we're vegan. You are saying we can't walk up and down here because we're vegan.
I know you're a vegan. So
You're saying that we normally protest here, and that's why you're ordering us to leave.
You do normally protest here.
I didn't say that. I said that's your assumption. Whether that's correct or incorrect, you cannot use that. You can't use those grounds. You can't use those grounds to ask us to leave here.
So you're refusing to leave?
I didn't say that.
Well, I'll let you
We'll
make
give
that.
you till 10 past anyway.
I am so going to have you for this. You are thugs. You are Nazis. That's what you are. You're fascist scum.
Yeah.
And you're animal abusers. You should be ashamed of yourselves.
Leave the rabbits alone.
Guys, if you just step back first and alright?
Are you going in there to make sure they're doing social distancing?
Thank you for watching. Police using vague justifications to stop, question, or detain people without cause is a growing concern. Simply being in public is not a crime, and officers cannot demand compliance without legal justification. Whether it's intimidation tactics, unlawful demands for ID, or escalating situations without cause, standing your ground and recording every interaction is key to holding them accountable. Always ask questions, challenge unlawful orders, and never let your rights be ignored. Subscribe for more UK police accountability videos, real encounters, and important lessons on knowing your rights. Stay informed, stay empowered, and never stop filming.